Grief is a tricky thing. It doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it wears a mask, and very often, that mask is anger. I remember a woman named Maria who shared her story with me. Her husband died suddenly from a heart attack. At the funeral, everyone talked about what a wonderful man he was, but Maria felt a growing knot of something else. It wasn't just sorrow, it was a deep, burning resentment. She was angry that he hadn't taken better care of himself. Angry that he had left her alone to raise their children. This anger felt shameful, so she buried it deep inside where no one could see it. It makes perfect sense that we get angry when we're hurting. Anger is a powerful, energizing emotion. Sadness, on the other hand, can feel heavy and depleting. It can make us feel vulnerable and small. When we are faced with a devastating loss, our brain scrambles to protect us. Anger often feels safer than despair. It's a shield. It gives us something to do, someone to blame. Think about it this way. Grief is like being dropped into a deep, dark ocean. The waves of sadness are relentless, pulling you under. Anger is like finding a piece of driftwood to cling to. It might be splintered and rough, but it keeps your head above water. We get angry at the doctors, at God, at the person who left us, or even at ourselves. I met a man named David whose wife had left him for another man. For years, his story was one of betrayal. Every conversation, every interaction, he was the victim. His wife was the villain. This story kept him stuck. He couldn't trust new people. He couldn't find joy in his work. His entire life was put on hold, frozen in the moment of his greatest pain. The resentment that had once been a shield had now become a cage. It was a heavy armor he wore every single day. It was exhausting him, keeping love and connection out. This is the danger of unchecked resentment. It stops being a temporary feeling and becomes a core part of our identity. We give the person or situation that hurt us the power to control our present and our future if we hold on to the resentment. Moving forward is not about forgetting. It's not about pretending the hurt didn't happen. It's about choosing to write a different ending to your story. For David, the first step was incredibly small. He decided to join a hiking group. He didn't go to find a new partner or to talk about his pain. He went just to put one foot in front of the other. He went to breathe fresh air. He went to be in a space that had nothing to do with his loss. This is what healing often looks like. For some, like a woman named Sarah who was grieving her mother, this meant writing. She created a space where she could dump all her anger and sadness without judgment. She focused on cultivating gratitude in her journal. She would write down 3 things that didn't hurt: a good cup of coffee, the warmth of the sun on her face, a phone call with a friend. This small act slowly began to shift her focus from what she had lost to what she still had. Ultimately, these practices were about reclaiming her power. The journey out of grief and resentment is not a straight line. There will be days when the anger flares up again, when the sadness feels as fresh as it did on day one. And that is okay. The goal is to build the resilience to navigate that pain with courage and compassion. It's about integrating our losses into our lives, allowing us to live fully, not in spite of our scars, but because of the strength we gained in healing them. Our stories of loss do not have to end in bitterness. Think of your life as a book. The chapter on your loss is real, and it is painful. But it does not have to be the last chapter. You get to keep writing. New people, new experiences, new purpose. I know a woman who, after grieving the loss of her child, started a foundation to support other bereaved parents. Her pain didn't disappear, but she transformed it into a legacy of compassion and connection. She took her deepest hurt and used it to light the way for others. This is the promise of wholehearted living. So if you are struggling today, please know this. You are not alone, and you are not broken. You are on a journey, and you get to write your story. Please like and subscribe if this inspired you.